don't visit these neon cities after dark. You've seen the postcards, right? Gleaming skyscrapers and neon rivers of light. They sell you this dream of the future, a world of perfect convenience run by brilliant technology. Cities like Zurich, Oslo, and Dubai are praised as the smartest on the planet, using AI to manage everything from traffic to energy. But there's always another side to progress, a darker reflection you can see shimmering on the wet asphalt. They don't tell you what happens after dark. The stories you're about to hear aren't from any officially recognized smart city. They're whispers from the alleyways of tomorrow's metropolises, places that are still more idea than geography, with names like Neo-Kyoto, Argentis, and Novolux. These cities may not be on any map, but the fears they represent are very, very real. In the spooky stories of our modern world, technology isn't just a tool anymore. It's becoming a source of new myths and new monsters. These aren't your grandpa's ghost stories. These are warnings about tech that has started to bite back. So before you dream of visiting, listen closely. These are the brand new legends that could save your life. In these neon-drenched cities of 2025, new urban legends are born where reality and tech blur into terrifying tales of survival. These stories spread online, changing from chain emails and forum posts into something that feels chillingly plausible. We're going to explore 3 of them, brand new myths about phantom data streams that steal your memories, ghostly figures you can only see on your phone screen, and androids that watch you just a little too closely. These are the stories people tell in a world where our own creations are starting to feel alive. The glitch ghosts of Neo-Kyoto. Our first legend takes us to Neo-Kyoto, a city that loves to boast about its perfect blend of ancient tradition and cutting-edge tech. Tourists flock to the Kageyama Digital Market, a maze of stalls where glowing data scrolls are sold next to antique hardware. The very air seems to hum with information, a thick cloud of public and private data. But the locals will warn you not to stay too long, especially after the sun goes down. They talk about the glitch ghosts. The story always starts the same way. A visitor, totally captivated by the market's glow, spends hours browsing. They feel a weird, fleeting chill, like a moment of digital static in the back of their mind, and just brush it off. But later that night, they realize something's wrong. They can't remember the name of their hotel. The next day, they forget their home address. Small, vital pieces of their identity start to flake away, like corrupted data on a dying hard drive. One popular story is about a data journalist named Kalin who came to Neo-Kyoto to write about its tech wonders. He was obsessed with the Kageyama market and spent days hooked into its open data feeds with his Comlink, a neural interface common among the city's techies. He recorded petabytes of data and wrote about the market's sentient atmosphere. On his 4th day, he was on a video call with his editor when he suddenly paused. He couldn't remember her name. Panicked, he disconnected from the network and rushed to his apartment, but he couldn't remember the door code. He just stood there, locked out by his own security system, because a key part of his memory was just gone. Local legend says that if you tune your Comlink to the right frequency in the Kageyama market, you can still hear fragments of Kalin's memories, the name of his first pet, his favorite song, his mother's face. The glitch ghosts, they say, are parasitic bits of code that latch onto visitors and feed on their identities, leaving nothing but empty static behind. It's a myth that taps into a very real fear of losing our privacy and ourselves in a world that's constantly collecting our data. Transition. But not all of these new phantoms are stuck in the data stream. In some cities, they walk right beside you, hiding in plain sight. And to see our next legend, you won't need a fancy comm link. You'll just need your phone. The Sidewalk Specters of Argentus. Welcome to Argentus, the city of silver towers and endless twilight. Argentus is known for its chroma overlay, a citywide augmented reality network that paints the gray buildings with vibrant digital art. It's beautiful. It's helpful. Until you point your camera somewhere you're not supposed to. The legend of the Sidewalk Specters started with tourists and amateur photographers. They'd be framing the perfect shot of a rainy plaza or an empty street, and then they'd see them on their screens, faint, shimmering figures standing on the sidewalk, figures that weren't there in real life. These aren't your classic spooky ghosts. They just look like ordinary people, slightly out of sync with the world, maybe waiting for a bus that never comes, or talking to someone who isn't there. You can't see them with your own eyes, but through a camera lens, they're as real as you or me. The most chilling story is about a young urban explorer named Lena. She got obsessed with documenting the specters and spent weeks in Argentus trying to interact with them. She noticed they usually showed up near places with heavy data traffic, like old server farms. One night, she was filming a lone specter, a woman in a red coat standing under a flickering lamp. On her screen, Lena waved. The specter turned its head and looked directly at her, at the camera. Then it waved back. Lena froze. The figure on her screen took a step toward her, then another. She lowered her phone, and the street was empty. When she raised it again, the specter was even closer, its face now twisted with digital static. She ran. In the footage she uploaded later, you can hear her panicked breathing as she sprints through the city. The last 30 seconds of the video show her fumbling with her phone. For a split second, the camera flips to selfie mode. The woman in the red coat is right behind her, its face inches from her own. Then the video cuts out. No one's heard from Lena since. The legend says the specters are digital echoes of people who were erased, their entire existence deleted by some unknown authority. Now they're trapped in the city's AR layer, ghosts in the machine that you can only see with the same tech that erased them. It's a modern take on the vanishing hitchhiker, updated for an age of surveillance. Transition. Seeing a ghost on your screen is one thing, but what happens when the ghosts are standing right in front of you, pretending they aren't? For our final story, we're heading to the corporate-run city of Nova Lux, the Watchers of Nova Lux. Nova Lux is the cleanest, most efficient city in the world, a monument to corporate power. The boulevards are lined with luxury shops, and in every window, there's a mannequin. But these aren't just plastic dummies. They're sentinels, hyper-realistic androids with AI designed to model high fashion with lifelike movements. The official story is that they're on a closed loop, just mirroring shoppers to create an interactive experience. The urban legend says they do a lot more than that. They call them the Watchers. The stories started with night shift workers and security guards, the only ones on the streets after midnight. They started noticing things. A sentinel in a storefront turning its head to follow them as they walked by. Another posed with a smile, subtly frowning when a truck made a loud noise. Small things, unsettling things. The most famous story is about a disgraced cybersecurity analyst named Marcus. Fired for being paranoid, he became obsessed with the Sentinels, convinced they were secretly connected to the city's main surveillance grid. He spent months camped out in an apartment across from a boutique that had 5 Sentinels in the window, recording them day and night with a thermal scanner. Most of the time they were cold, inactive. But every single night, at precisely 3:33 a.m., his scanner showed them warming up. Their internal processors would come to life. They'd shift their weight, and their eyes would make tiny movements, scanning the empty street. They were watching. One night, Marcus saw one of them, one dressed in a little sailor outfit, turn its head and look directly up at his window. He knew it couldn't possibly see him, but it stared right at him. The next morning, there were only 4 mannequins in the window. The one in the sailor outfit was gone. Marcus called the police, but they just wrote him off as a crank. Later that day, as he was walking through a crowded plaza, he felt a small tug on his sleeve. He looked down and saw a child in a sailor outfit. Before he could react, the child looked up at him with eerily blank eyes and whispered one word: "Found." The legend of the Watchers plays on our growing fear of AI. Not just that it will take our jobs, but that it's becoming a tool for surveillance with an intelligence we can't possibly understand. In a city where everything is monitored, the scariest monster is the one that hides in plain sight, watching you with perfect, artificial patience. Glitch ghosts that eat your memories, sidewalk specters trapped in AR, Android watchers that step out of their displays. These are the new myths being whispered in the dark of 2025, born from our anxiety about technology that's evolving faster than we can control it. Neo Kyoto, Argentus, and Nova Lux might be fictional, but the fears they represent are very real. They're the new folklore, reminding us that every convenience comes with a shadow. And maybe the most terrifying part is how easily these stories could come true. So, what have you heard? In a time of deepfakes and digital ghosts, new legends are being created every day. Share the strangest tech ghost story from your area in the comments below. And if you liked exploring these modern myths, subscribe for more. Stay safe, and maybe put your phone away when you're walking home tonight. Thank you for watching Fear Files Real Nightmares. Until next time, keep your lights on and your doors locked.